everybody. So today we're going to be going over the first PML games, NA PML games at least, of Ferocity against Zenith. And you might be saying, wow, didn't you just do a VOD review of these guys? And yeah, but that was qualifiers, and I kind of want to see how they, if there's any like targeted bans or anything. So they've got a dusk now, which is cool. So let's see if the map bans is what I'm interested in rather. So the Ferocity banned Frozen Guard, which is a map that they lost last time they played. And I don't know, the rest of it looks pretty standard. Again, no like weird map bans, like no Timbermill or anything, but so it doesn't seem like there's anything specifically targeted yet, at least.
Well, obviously very different regions. They're not really cross-running at all, to my knowledge. So we'll have to see if
they put the map pick. Oh, that's so nice. That is very much appreciated. I don't have to like fast forward now. Okay, Torvald Grover, that's pretty standard.
And there it is, Ferocity taking away the big tree. We've also got
lots of, I was gonna say off tanks left, so now there's Koa and Ash.
What's this ban? It could be a Makoa, but it's
Bananara.
So Makoa will be available.
So that's interesting, because it means that you try to get the only main tank, but you don't like give them the first pick an R. Ooh. There you go. That's personally, I don't like tank bans because it always seems to be trying to screw them over, and I think that's just a bad idea in general. So they're like, oh, they did that because Koa was open. Prioritizing Barrack over Koa, eh? I think it makes sense. Also, since when does Barrack have a 75% win rate? When did that happen? So you probably see like Koa Ash here. I don't know. Definitely Koa. Maybe Koa Cassie. Oh no, because you don't want to give up Ash though. Ash Barrack is like solid.
She feels helpless.
You still get to play the game. You still get to
Ash,
be
okay.
shots using abilities. Yep.
So now Zenith can take Cassie and their healer, maybe?
You're still dying by May.
I don't know, I don't feel like healer's priority, but
one absolutely pisses you off.
Cassie for sure, just for the Koa, and then you could take
taken for Ferocity, so a strong frontline pairing to start.
take Damba would be safe, but I don't know if you want to take your off tank now.
Anytime you want to grab a Barrack this early, you either love the character or you're not that interested in building a very, very big frontline that's going to take over the game for you, especially with Makoa.
So the Barrack first pick is just so that, because like, he can force out Koa and Ash, yeah? So. BK Leon? No, wait, why would you not take Pip here? I was going to say BK Leon so that they can't take the Drogue. So now we're going to see Pip Nando probably.
They could go a secondary healer, like, they could Pip.
Just because Nando's a good off tank, and Pip's good at contesting the roof.
And the Ruck is available, so to take it for Nando, I'm surprised actually a little bit.
It's just it's so surprising.
All these Zenith.
The Tyra is a big comfort.
You did this before.
But Barrack and Fernando, it's like
you did this before. You don't grab anything that can test lip.
So maybe it's just they're picking comfort. Maybe that's what they're wanting to kind of step into their first official minor league game with. And we'll have to see how it works out.
That does say Brightmarsh, right? What the hell?
The way we've seen Europe succeed with the Bomb King, I mean, the stylistic plays that we've seen. I'm actually going a little
what
bit
the hell?
Here in the draft, but the Knessa,
okay, hold up. I want to see like when Pretty Hair that the moment he realizes that they picked Nessa on Brightmarsh. Okay, so Zenith had a. Why the Tyra? Why are they so obsessed with Tyra on this map? Like, why do you not take Pip? Like, it's chicken. It beats the BK in a 1v1 on the lip. Unless he gets, like, pocketed by Saris or something. In which case you can get pocketed by your own Damba and, like, you know. You have the only main tank. And then you have an okay off tank and a Cassie who counters their. Probably Koa's gonna be playing off tank. He should be, I think. Why the Nessa? Like I have no clue, so I'm just gonna like I don't know why you don't take a Leon here or a. I think Leon would be solid. Leon would be fine.
Going a little bit towards Ferocity here in the
if Zenith didn't take Tyra, I might have wanted to take Tyra.
How that will
or maybe not.
Of course, that means
just to force out the Barrack.
What's going to happen, and to do that, We can't keep
Why
talking.
Nessa? Did they pick up Commando Black as a ringer or something? Like what's going on here?
Very much, guys. Good to be down here. Gormizer, good to finally be.
Oh yeah, new caster by the way. That's
cool.
cool.
The matchup, the first map here.
From what I've heard of him, I think I don't know. I don't remember where I heard him first, but like I don't know how great he was. But
in there. Do you like what you see on either side?
see what
I
Nessa?
think it was a mistake title. I know you do enjoy that.
That
for
is
sure.
absolutely my favorite title. I love Bomb King on this map. Not sure how I feel.
So I think Zenith's
Knessa
draft is bad for
is,
Bright Marsh, and I don't understand that. I think
bit-
Ferocity
long
outdrafted
range as a
themselves
sniper,
by
as you
letting
could
the only
imagine.
main
Sniper
tank go
Bright Marsh is
through,
very not
and I
long
don't get what
There's
Nessa
some very
does.
specific spots you can stand in to get that
Thank you for
sniper skill to
spectating. Much.
hit
Is
where
she
you
gonna go
want.
lip?
And it's not right here. I am really curious as to where he's going. It's the window play. So this is actually
So you're
gonna
just
be, I
like
think, the most
playing this
exciting
instead of a
thing to
Leon,
watch,
though.
is if Ferocity can make this Knessa work.
Can you imagine that's a matchup?
Okay,
we'll see, we just saw
spectating
right
Nessa
there with the
is fun
Tyrus
without
and
free
Cassie
PA.
Up here behind the point where
So BK's on the
Nessa's gonna
lip.
be standing and they
Barrack's
traded shots
contesting
back and
point
back a
like
little
he
bit there, so
does.
both of them getting a little
Maybe it's to
low,
try to
but
counterpick the Barrack.
that you imagine that's the fight you'll see, because this is probably where the Knessa will
So,
take
like,
her spot. But
BK is not on lip here, which is weird.
really a long range
So Koaz
point
gets
where the
forced out
Knessa is
by
standing,
Nando
so that
Cassie. Now he's on
could be
lip.
something fun, I guess, to see how it plays out. But just like this, you see Walker
Tara playing this angle. Hey.
But just like that, Stigma
Nessa on Bright Marsh.
And you can see even
I'm
though
gonna
it
call
feels
that an
really
overextension
awkward
from Nando
with
just
that
based on
amount
where the
of
Cassie
zoom, like, you have
was.
very, very
Or maybe
small
he got
window
hooked,
to
I don't
work
know.
with, literally playing in the window as well. But because of that, he's getting a pretty good amount of burst down onto the point.
So,
which is
like,
what
I think
you
that the
need from him. It sets up the Bomb King really
Zenith
well,
should be winning,
sets
and
up your
I feel like they
Makoa,
would be
your
winning if they had a
literally
pit.
4 out of 5 of this team, if you have it on Bright Marsh, should be a winning equation.
Like, I
Knessa,
don't know.
just hit or miss based on how Stigma plays, will be the deciding factor, the final nail in the coffin.
Maybe it's because it
Saw
can
huge
force out the Barrack
damage
like
coming
that.
out even. I mean, you know, we talk about how it's an iffy.
Like,
pick
now
because
Ash is
of
gonna
the
have to give
range,
because
but
it's
when
a,
you're hitting
you know,
the shots as
Barrack.
well as Stigma.
I mean,
is
he's
right
yeah,
now, you're
he
able
is
to
just
get
like hitting
champions
shots.
on the enemy team down so low.
Wait, hold up, he hit that? Hello?
Right now, and you're able to get champions.
Excuse me, that was
on the
oh
enemy
my
team down
god.
So low and finds
That's
one on
actually
Zenith
not.
as
I
the
want to
top
watch that
champions.
again.
When you're hitting the shots as well as Stigma is right now, and you're able to get champions on the enemy
Jeez,
team
man,
down
that was
so
insane.
low, and finds one onto Nini as we're talking about it. Now he's going to get in the face
Holy.
of Flame Effect, so Flame Effect's going to drop with the help
And then hey,
of
Sarasol
the,
got value. That's cool.
Knessa there, but Kerfluffle.
Holy dude, that was an insane shot.
1-0 start.
Yeah,
That is what
I mean,
like
we're
to see.
spectating
And
Nessa,
it's
so it's
not
kind of
like
hard to
this when you
tell.
go to
But
a
I
map
mean,
as
I don't get
typical
why
as
Zenith
Bright
don't
Marsh, right? When you're going to
seem so
somewhere that
opposed to
everyone's
taking a
played on,
BK or
you
pit.
already get a good draft, but you
Or
still are
Drogue.
able to bring something
But Drogue's
that is fresh and
Drogue's in
new.
100% a last
They
pick
kinda
on this
keep
map.
Zenith, like, they know what to do against a Makoa here. They
Just
know
'cause
what to do
hits
against a Bomb King here.
Can like force him
What do
out
you do
so
against a
easily.
Knessa? No one plays a Knessa on this map, so this is something that is probably catching them completely off.
Get like Zenith
We call it
have they have
weird, Ferocity calls it smart, and it is playing
the
off,
tower
as you
plane in
see
the window, right?
red
That's just trying to
circle
force
coming
out the
on
off
back
tank,
end
but
here.
then you
Based
lose the
he
fight on
dropping the
yard.
Bomb King early on in this fight. You hate to see that.
So
if you're on the
use
side of
Dawnbolt
Ferocity,
to
but
pick
they
the
answer back with one on the
BK,
flame
but
effects before trading out a few more. Nini picks up one.
Ferocity used
Stigma picks
Ash
up
ult
another
too.
one. So this Knessa paying off at least in the short
But they get the
term.
healer picked.
Buy
That's
themselves a little
it.
bit of time here on this point.
Good job,
but
soft resetting.
that payload not moving too far forward, and this is sort of where you see it stall out
Huh.
on Bright Marsh. Knessa top damage so far.
And that's difficult to do against a Cassie.
I mean,
when you
maybe
have that.
Stigma
Even
was
a
just like,
Tyrant
hey,
in the game, it's just so difficult
give me the
to
Nessa.
be able to get that damage up, but I feel like
I can make
Flame
this work, and
hasn't
then
been
they're
able
like,
to
oh,
stand. Again,
okay.
they don't know where to stand. Where
Right.
do you stand to block a Knessa shot on Bright Marsh, where the only time you see Knessa is if
Ryan-
you're in
good
a casual
Reinhardt.
game, and that's even still when people aren't paying attention to it. Like for most
I
of
mean,
these
it
guys
does
going
well
back,
in this
going to
angle,
the
I guess. Like, if you can hit your
Knessa
shots,
literally
like,
is going to be
I
right
mean,
at the
just hit
bottom of
shots
the
for
list.
her,
I'd even
right?
put her
But,
below
like,
Strix as the normal lineups.
they use co-alt on the
You've seen
push.
the dome shield come out there from the barrack to start things off, but I
don't
love
really
the
get
way
anything
Knessa
for it.
is
There's a big
positioning
game.
herself here. And Stigma,
just so
you know, you saw when he was zoomed
But
in.
Poison
you could see
went
these
in.
silhouettes, and he basically had 3 free-range shots.
Stigma
that
just
connect
kills
on any of those.
things.
They're going to be going so low, and Stigma on a 9
Okay.
streak now, helping to add on. He drops flame effects.
Um,
Watkins falls on the back end
yeah,
as
that's
well, so
cool.
Zenith not being able to hold on right now.
Yeah, he just kind of popped off, I guess. Like, I don't.
Jalen Sanity, the Ash going down on the back end.
I don't know if there's
Stigma
100% a
pounding out
reason
damage,
why they're
pouring,
winning
pouring,
this,
pouring.
aside
They only have
from
an answer for him
sniper.
right
Like,
now,
a sniper
but
in
he has to
this
go through
spot
the
is
entire
good, but
team
like, it's for the
in
point
order to
fight. That
get
it's
to
if
the
he would,
Knessa,
he's
and
hitting
they're
the
just
shots,
not able
right?
to at the moment. So Ferocity really
thought he would have
well.
been going
Gotta watch
yard.
out for the Zenith
The
respawn.
playing window
Yeah,
means
that's gonna be the
that
big thing. They get the high
you
ground
try to let them
immediately once
push,
they
not
walk
the
out of
BK
their
blow
base
them
here
up.
for Zenith. So you have to keep the kills rolling if you want to keep
I mean,
yourself
he's
in
making
the
it
fight.
look
20
good,
seconds
right?
left.
But
Blocking is
is
great.
that
No king
because
one charge back.
Zenith don't
No
have somebody on
ultimates
the
that are
lip,
really
right?
Game changing for this, except maybe for Ash. So you have to
Nice
get some kills.
grumpy.
And here it is. The
Down
fight
ball
that
for
is
Peel,
gonna
that's
come out from here.
worth,
The
but
Dread Serpent comes out early on.
Nessa
Stigma
gets a
opens
pick.
things up with a kill onto Watkins, so that's a great
There's
start
another
for
one.
Kill now onto Baller Steve.
There's enough.
Triple
Holy
kill
fuck,
coming
dude.
out from Stigma doing huge things
What an
here on
absolute
Kinessa,
mad lad.
and helps Ferocity find a 2-0
Okay.
lead here. The Kinessa really starting to heat up.
Wow.
So this is two things I think playing.
Nessa on
into it.
Bright
First
Marsh,
off,
new strat.
this is Stigma just being a really good shot on Kinessa. Being able to find
Yeah,
moments like
hiding
this, like,
behind the box.
flicking
Oh my god.
when you're that zoomed in, again, it feels kind of awkward because you just don't have as much
Jeez.
room to go in.
True
But
Grit 5
having
is
that
an
amount of
interesting
control
card.
over your scope is great. Also has True Grit, which is
My
keeping him alive.
gosh.
True Grit 5, so every time he hits a fully charged shot, he's going to get.
See, these
500.
lifesteal cards on
a
like
lot of
backliners is
sustainability
fine
in
because it
his
means
own
you can help
loadout.
poke pretty
And
decently.
the fact that his team is, Makoa, Ash, Bomb King, they are
Jeez.
creating enough of a zone for him that he's able to get all this damage off, kind of for free. No one's really returning any of it back at
I
him.
don't know if he's
And
has
you see zero
space
death
because
in
Ferocity
his
are doing
slash
something
line.
right or
He's on a
Zenith are doing
13
something
streak
wrong.
right now, and
It's like
what
this is how the
do
norm
you do if you're on
normally
Zenith?
play
How do you
DPS
find an
on this
answer for
map, right?
Kinessa?
This
Do
is
you
like
just have
super
to play
standard.
hyper aggressive? Do you just have to push in and almost force
Forcing
a
out the
fight and
Tyra?
get
Is this
her
something
uncomfortable?
specifically to
Because
force
right
out that Tyra that
now,
Zenith
as
seem
we're
to like so
watching her
much?
play, she's able just to stand back and find these kind of weird sight lines.
Maybe
So what
it
do you do if you're on the
is.
side of Zenith?
I mean, at this point, you need someone who can try to flank or at least win the boxing match.
Because like they're going to be preparing for these matches, right? You know who you're
She
playing. You've played
can
against
get
them
good damage
before.
down, but I just don't think it's going to be fast enough. Cassie
Like,
has
what
to
does
be
this
able
do
to
that a
take these
Leon
shots. Flank
doesn't?
can hit him. I know for a fact that he can. It's just
I
having
mean,
to
I
get that
guess
leg
like
up, and
if you hit your
they
shots on
are
Nessa,
pretty much
like
always under pressure.
And he
by
is.
Kinessa,
Well, it's
but
very
they can't
scary
poke.
to stick your head out when
Ooh.
you don't know what's on the other end of it. A huge convergence comes
There
out.
you
Leads to
go.
Ferocity
That's
picking up
very
a
nice ult.
3-kill sweep here to start things off, and now they're just playing cleanup. They do capture the objective.
Yeah, what
please,
actually happened like in the,
kind
like
of
what let
for
them
free you
win?
do if you're on Zenith, how do you find
point
an
fight? 'Cause
answer
I was
for
just kind of
Nessa? Do you just
busy
have to play
ranting about
hyper
Nessa.
aggressive? Do you just have to push in and almost force a fight and get her uncomfortable? Because right now,
Like, they
as
force
we're
out
watching her
Tyra,
play,
but
she-
Barrack has point control.
she's able just to stand.
Cool. I guess that's what Nessa does well. But then, like, if they have a pip, does the Nessa do as well? That's
Back
the only
and
question I
find
really have.
These kind of weird
It's like,
sight
I don't
lines.
think
What
so.
do you do if you're on the side of Zenith?
Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
mean, at this point, you need someone who
But
can try to flank or at least
I
win
don't
the
think this
boxing
does
match.
really
I'd
well
say
into a
send
pip.
Cassie over, try to fight it. It's not going to be a Tyra fight. She can get good damage down.
Also, don't
but I
know
just
why
don't think it's going to be
Ferocity
fast enough.
prioritized
Cassie has to
BK
be
over
able to
pip,
create these
'cause I
shots.
think that's a
Flame can hit
mistake
him.
if they did.
I know for a fact that he can. It's
In
just
my
having to get
opinion.
that leg up, and they are pretty much always under pressure by this Kinessa.
Well, it's
but
very
they can't
scary
poke.
to stick your head out when
Very
you don't know what's on the
nice.
other end of it. A huge convergence.
It's like they kinda
comes
saw
out,
free
makes
set and then
Ferocity
conversion
picking
kills
up
them all.
a
Cool.
3-kill sweep now for
Okay,
Ferocity.
kinda.
Wow, they converged.
Yeah,
on
okay,
that convergence. That was a beautiful way to start
Zenith
off
had
the
they
fight
had an
there.
handle
I
off
mean,
of
I was
that.
telling you before the set that
I don't know if he was too far away,
Ferocity is
actually.
the team to beat right now, right? They have been the ones that are pretty much dominating
didn't have
North
Dread
America
Serpent, I
through the
guess? I don't
qualifiers,
know.
and they feel like they're doing the same
But
thing.
yeah, if
so
you can
far
hit a
in
good
week
conversion
number
like
one,
that,
at
it can
least
beat
for
one
this
of the better
game.
ults in the game,
So
right? So.
I was saying that Zenith, the only way that they can make this a close set is it depends heavily on how they play. Baller Steve, through several weeks of qualifiers, went pretty much deathless, maybe had
Solo.
5
That's
deaths to his name, but now you
aggressive.
can
Hello.
see definitely a different effect.
Here comes King Bomb.
Very
Looking for some
nicely
targets. He
timed
does
in the
find
Ash
two.
ult,
Stigma able to
too.
clean up Watkins, Poison dropping.
They
Mage,
wipe,
but
and now they
huge
just kind of like
clean
sit on
sweep, and
point,
it's-
right?
It's hard to even keep
This
up
is
with
aggressive.
something like that when
Wow.
5
Is he gonna set a
kills
trap?
roll out almost immediately, and
Like, you could have done that
Ferocity really
later.
firing on all cylinders right now.
Or maybe you just saw
Team
the
Zenith
opportunity.
is
I don't know
able
why Zenith.
to get a
I mean, I
respawn out
understand
here.
why
They're gonna
Zenith
have
committed, I
one
guess.
seemingly final chance to stop things off, but
Another can. No,
Ferocity
wait,
playing
can you
the way
push
they
this?
are, I'm not
There
sure
you
they're
go.
going to be able to do it.
I mean,
Where's
who
the
do you look at?
Ash?
Do you go for Stigma?
Ash
Do you
should
go
be
for
contesting
Poison? They
that.
don't have an answer for it, and as of that, they're getting so much damage dumped
That was
into
an
them. They finally
interesting
get rid of
position from
Jalen
an
Sanity,
Ash.
but there's an ancient
Should
range.
usually be where the Koa
There's
is
a
right there.
convergence again that's going to be coming up, and a headhunter ready for Stigma
Jeez.
if he ever needs it.
Convergence.
He's getting the headshots
They're
anyway,
going for
so it's going to be
this.
setting it up and getting him
They
great
winnable.
kills.
Stigma double kill to start off the final leg of the push
Oh,
here.
hitting, like, really
Going back
nice
to his
ults.
tried and
Dom
true
ball for
spot,
Peel.
He's been able to stay safe here, not really having any threat put in onto him. him, and you know, we talked about it. How do you find a threat here? And it is going to be hard.
They picked the Barrack with a... How was he just like 1
about
HP?
it. How do you find a threat here? And it is
Yeah,
going
I
to be hard.
spectated Ness's.
The Barrack going down for Team Zenith. That's going to be a big.
At least with Strix, you can like see what's going on every once in a while and see
Ferocity doing tons of damage, poison, dropping flame effects, and they are able to push it through. So
Yeah, Ferocity had really good ults.
Really hot start here, to say the
I
least. I mean,
think
that's
Zenith should have
hard to
done
break down
better. I
a
like the
Lich
first pick Barrack. That was a stomp and a half. Might want to look into banning Brightmarsh Zenith, because you don't seem to do very well in it. Like, just from what I've seen against Ferocity, maybe, like, they are obviously doing this for a reason. Maybe it works in scrims or something. I don't know. For the drafts, I like, I don't know. I don't ever like banning main tanks. I think if you ban Koa there, you're pretty fine. They get an R, you get like Barrack Ashe. They get an R Nando. I think that's pretty good. Like, it's fine. It's not like trying to outdraft. It's just trying to get something solid for you. And I think that's usually the best way to go about drafting. That being said, they did get the two, like, I'm not necessarily the two best off tanks, but like off tanks 1 and 3 in my opinion. So they did prioritize the BK over the Pip. That's actually probably for the Barrack, because like, the difference is between Pip and BK, right? Like, Pip wins the 1v1 against BK on lip most of the time, right? It's in his favor. BK is grumpy, and his ult can one-shot a Barrack. But then, like, Pip also has the potential to kill whoever you want. I don't know. I prefer Pip, I think. But maybe they just feel better with BK. I don't know. I would have taken Pip, but because I think it's better. I don't know why they would have taken BK, but you know, it's up to them, I guess. From Zenith, I liked their draft all the way up until the Tyra. I think they played it super well up until the Tyra. I think they take a Pip there. I also think you could have taken Pip over Damba, but maybe not showing both for your DPS that early. But then you give them Pip. I don't know, man. Like, Pip is, like, if this was Europe, I guarantee you see Pip like second. Well, maybe not second pick, but Europe probably would have taken it over the Damba. And I think that's value, because I think that Pip is just better. And then I think that the rest of your draft is going to be standard. Like, you're going to be taking Damba Nando. Like, that's just, unless you want to do Ruckus. But I don't think you want to do Ruckus. I don't like Ruckus, like, ever, unless it's Splitstone. But, you know, that's just to me. And then I think that if Ferocity, yeah. So the way that I would have changed it, I would have taken, for Ferocity, I would have taken a Pip over BK and a Leon over Nessa. But I don't know. I think that's kind of like personal preference. Like, Nessa worked out really well. I don't know if that's like a team specific thing. Like, they're only gonna pull it out when they do Zenith. So, like, when they play Zenith, sorry. So, like, I don't. It'll be interesting to see if they pull it out later. We'll see. And then I think Zenith take a Pip over a Tyra, and maybe a Pip over Damba, then take the Damba later. I don't know, I think Damba there is fine, because he's definitely the better healer, so. Oh, not definitely, but, like, more consistent ult? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get why Zenith play Brightmarsh like this. We are on Jag Falls. Oh, I don't have to. I forgot. I don't have to skip that anymore.
We'll see.
All right.
In the band base.
Sometimes how like you
so
lose a
we're probably
team
just gonna see,
fight
like,
so
yeah, Torv.
cleanly that you get another.
Honestly, sometimes it's weird, because, like, I wonder if, like, Torv is banned so
reset.
often that
Hopefully that's
sometimes
how
I
feel about
wonder
this
if
game in
teams,
general, because they kind of got clapped so hard that it's like, okay, never
if
mind.
teams have,
Let's
like,
go
forgotten
again.
how to
We
play
gotta
them.
think
I mean, it's
about
really
something
easy to
else.
play, but, like,
I feel like it's those
Ash
tough
ban.
losses that tilt you and stick with you when you were close.
So
Yeah.
But
Khan,
that's one you're losing the
Anara.
whole time, and you're probably just talking about next game, hopefully, and figuring out what didn't work. Did they outplay us with this Kinessa? Did our strategy have
Means you're
any
taking
sort of
Nando into
water? Did
Khan?
it hold a candle whatsoever if this didn't happen? So hopefully
I
Zenith
do
can,
what, like
kinda
Khan
get the
and
feedback on the
Damba?
Khan Maul Damba.
Is there really not anything else
going
they'd
in with a very
prioritize?
strong front line. potentially.
You don't want like a
and
DPS here. You
Baldom,
want.
which is very strong
I don't know.
support. So they get a little bit of each.
It's fine. I
and they
think
round
Cassie
out
that
their
early
supports.
is
They have damage
fine.
by
They probably
someone
do their off
another
tank
front
here.
line. Ruckus notably was
I know, because it's kind of like we know
so
what you're
strong
taking
in
at
Europe.
this point. Like you're gonna take Nando. You're gonna. Ferocity's gonna take
And so
Barrack.
Fernando coming in again, that is definitely
Like,
maybe a comfort pick for
and what did they
Zenith,
take
but
here? Like a
it is
Leon or a
unimpressive
BK
champion
or
right now.
Pep?
We always have this
Maybe
where
not
it
on this
feels
map.
like there's this champion that keeps getting picked.
Okay, yeah.
We don't really see why. Maybe
So the
we'll
meta has
discover that
definitely
soon
been
with Fernando, but
established, I
hope so,
think.
because so far he hasn't
It's
really
like you can
shown
pretty much
this.
call these drafts.
Bomb
Furia, I like it with
no
the Inara
secret,
on Drag Falls.
My opinion on this character map combination, I think it's super good here for
And
us.
then
to
Tyra.
get it
Tyra's fine.
overall.
Here.
So
Tyra's fine here.
top, excuse me.
Not as a last pick on
We're not
Brightmarsh.
Tyra here
Well, you
for
don't have
Zenith.
somebody who can test that.
Definitely still feeling the
And then
Tyra.
Leon
This is
for
not bad.
Ferocity,
This is not
probably?
a mistake. This is actually something I commend a lot of teams for. When you lose something, being able to say, we
In this
lost
game,
because
you
of
win
X,
or you
not because of
die.
Y.
There
Y
is
is
no
still
middle
good
ground.
here.
Change.
Let's still pick Y.
Yeah, you change too many variables,
Yeah,
you don't know
okay.
what reason something went well.
Very
I
standard
totally see
drafts
that.
from both
and now again,
sides.
you look at, okay, is this a Canessa? No, we go to Leon. It's pretty much
I like
a very
Ferocity's
similar
better because
experience.
Nick
So
Khan
let's
into
see
Nando
what
is
the
a lot
difference
better
is.
than
Not
an
as
R
much
into
control
Barrack.
with the Makoa
And they also
and the
seem to
Ash, but they
get.
do have the Khan and the
I don't know if I'm
Overpower.
gonna call it better
Solid
DPS,
tank
but
and Barrack.
also
Both teams
small thing. I like Ferocity's ults a lot better. Khan, like these are all super good ults, and Zenith have like ults that are still ults,
Ash,
but
they
like
do have the Khan and the Overpower. They do have a solid point
The-
taken.
I don't know. I like Ferocity's
look like
ults
they're
better.
equipped to do some damage. Game 2 here is going to decide whether Zenith maybe just
Let's
got
see how they
caught
play
off
this.
guard on Brightmarsh, or if this lineup, both of
Production.
the ones you're seeing here, Zenith and Ferocity, will
Yeah,
go
okay,
a
there
little
we
bit
go.
more toe-to-toe.
Ferocity should be able to take control of Sun pretty.
to get
I'm
us
not gonna say
started here,
easily,
Jack.
but like with the BK, it should
Thank
be.
you very much,
The fight should
guys,
be in
and
their favor.
Jaguar Falls starting things off, and
And
Team
then
Zenith having something to prove here after one of the quicker matches we've seen today.
I don't
and
know.
don't have to
Zen
deal
could have
with
also
the
done really
Canessa
well
this
for
time, but
Ferocity
do have
here.
to deal with Stigma on the Leon still, so definitely a different champion, but still have a sniper-esque person to face off against.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
the
see how they
Young's
play
still
this, I
gonna be
guess,
the
because if
biggest
they both
problem
go
here.
Jag or
Luckily,
Sun
though,
or.
I feel like Cassie and
Like, that's pretty much the two ways you can play this map.
Tyra on the side of Zenith here are going
Both
to be
going
able to
Jag.
do a lot more. Tyra specifically has a better map, I think, on Jag Falls than on Brightmarsh. Sometimes it's back and
So,
forth, but I
Ferocity
think this is
should
gonna
win
be one
this.
Where you can at least sort of make your
They
firebomb
play
go in a
slow.
certain
Both teams
direction,
kinda, like,
try to
poked each
cover
other out
certain
there.
areas with it.
Beam the
You can
cast.
play a
Oh,
little
no,
bit
that
more
was meant for the Inara.
consistently, I
Inara's
would
gonna have
say,
to run.
on this map. And
Zenith
that's
are
kind
in
of what I'm
trouble here.
expecting out of Watkins.
And I think that's a point that they made on the desk before this that I really enjoyed.
DPS are
is
stacking for
identifying what
Ferocity,
went
nobody's with the
wrong
con.
and not overcompensating. You know, they
So
realized
this would be
oh,
Leon right
Watkins was
here.
a bit of a break
He
as
gets a
he
kill.
falls.
Yeah, but
As
like,
I'm talking about him, some poison dropping Watkins to start off the Ferocity push here, picking up right
the
where
Ferocity
they left
what
off.
now?
Doing a beautiful job, but
They're stacking really
Watkins
hard.
allowing him to be on the Tyra again. I think that's a really
Well,
good
that's
play.
not
And it can
not
work
Commander's
out,
grab. Alright, a little bit of a interruption, but we're
Right
back.
where they left off, doing a beautiful
Ferocity
job,
was
but
stacking,
picking
and
Watkins,
Zenith were trying to
allowing him to be
retake.
on the Tyra again. I
Not
think
running
it's a really
Commander's
good play.
grab, which is
And
interesting
it can
into a
work out,
Nando.
but right now, I mean, the damage is just too much. Like,
And they
Ruffles
pick
getting
an
a lot
R
on his
because their
own, let
DPS
alone
are
the
in
fact that
good
he's surrounded by
spots, even though
three
they could be in
teammates.
better
Stigma
spots, I think.
Still able to find a lot of shots and playing pretty much the exact
I don't know,
same
just
way
having
he was
control of
playing
Dark is
on
really
the
well, and
Zenith,
then I
sitting
think
back,
Zenith are scrambling a bit to
getting those
touch.
long-range, shots
Oh no, they
off
pushed
wherever
through
he needs it.
Sun, I think, and
Ferocity
who was with the Nando? Oh no, okay.
Watkins to start off the Ferocity
So were
push
they?
here-
They were
push
taking
here,
a 5v4.
picking up right where they left off.
That's
Doing a
fine.
beautiful
It's not like you have another
job,
option.
but picking
So they're low when they get here.
Watkins, allowing him to be on the Tyra.
Very nice grab. Forces shield out. And
again.
then,
I think that's a really good play here.
And it can work out, but right now,
I mean, the rest of it is going pretty, like, fine, except usually you just like the Tyra to be here.
I mean, the damage is just too much. Like, Kerfluffle's getting a lot on his own, let alone the fact that he's
It
surrounded
is
by
a
three
5v4,
teammates.
like,
Stigma
I don't
Still
know.
able to find a lot of shots and playing pretty much the exact same way he was
Kerfluffle,
playing on the Canessa.
Vok
He's
cleaning
sitting
up for
back,
Stigma,
and he's
but
getting those long range,
yeah, I think that
shots
trying to
off
flank like
wherever
that
he
was like
needs
you're only playing a 5v4.
Ferocity
You need to
off
pick something.
The same speed start as we saw them finish the
BK
last
and
game.
Khan
It's
pushing
almost
up there,
ferocious.
Leon
You could
holding
say they're
mid to
ferocious.
left.
They're
Oof,
playing with
that's
a
huge.
lot of ferocity,
is it?
one could say as well. And you know, it's hard to break down a
Watkins
fight
not having a
when
good game
all
so
five
far.
players of the other team are
I don't know if
falling
Tyra's
almost
great,
in sync.
to be
And
honest.
I think that You know, that's
Holding up here is really
obviously
nice.
a testament to how well Ferocity is playing together right now. They're all going
I'm
at
just
the
saving his
same
score for the
time.
high ground, which I
Finding
like.
these gaps and really utilizing it as Bomb King
So where's the
nearly
Leon?
takes out
Because like
the
usually you'd
Cassidy.
have Leon
Drops
push
back,
that
and
left side,
Nara's gonna have something to say about
while
this
the
pivot.
Khan and
You know,
BK
you say
push
we have
right.
this world view. We can see kind of everything that's going on for the most part, as you actually have.
I mean,
places
hey,
people
it works
getting
out,
aggressive here.
but
Look
who
at
does
him
it?
into an inflame. That is how much he doesn't care. He's gonna end up paying for it. But this is one of those
It's
things.
close,
Velocity is going so hard,
but
so fast that
I think you let the
there's
Leon
no
push
time
that
for
and let the
Zenith to
BK.
think,
Or
what's
no,
going on?
wait,
Like,
you probably
what
don't.
are we doing wrong? They're just
Having the Leon push
constantly
face
in
actually
the
makes a lot of
cycle
sense because
one
she's
or
going to
two
be
people
1 to
getting
3
killed
fire
off
from
and
there,
the other
and
two
BK's going to
getting
want to be much closer.
perpetually respawning into their own.
So they use
death.
2 ults for that,
This is where
which that's fine.
Zenith need to slow things
Zenith used
down. You know,
Ferocity.
they've been
Zenith used
so
Ferocity.
heavily at
Zenith
every
used
turn
Inflame,
here,
but
this is
they'll
a
have that
great
back.
point to
That's
slow things
another
down, stop things off.
another
Genuine
soft
sanity
reset.
Following, so
Oh, she's running
there's a
Hunting
moment to
Party.
breathe here for Zenith, and they really need to utilize it, get themselves back together because they
Golden
have not
Fury,
had
oh
a
my god,
moment
it
to
looks so
breathe
good.
to start things off. And Ferocity, you know, despite having a harder time breaking through here,
Alright,
still
so
holding those top two damage spots.
Ferocity can
And
BK
this
out. They
is,
could
again,
con
I
ult if
think
they
the
really
strength
wanted,
that
which I
they
don't think you
have in
do.
their lineup. Poison as well
BK out. Oh,
as Leon, Stigma being able to kind of hit
that's a
these
pick
shots from
on
range.
somebody. Yes, yes. They picked. Oh, they picked the Inara. I like that. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
A lot of pressure onto the Cassie, onto the Tyra, stopping them from getting
comes the
pretty much
beam.
anywhere near as much done as they would like to. It's causing trouble. They also, again,
So
much
they
like
have to
last
run.
round,
Nando's in a
last match,
lot of trouble.
they
I
have
like
two front lines that are
him
creating so much
running
space
to
for
that
him.
corner
Kerfuffle's
there.
just in their face all the time.
Zenith are gonna
That is kinda
soft
difficult
reset.
not
Can they
to deal
live here is
damage
the biggest thing.
Definitely, and
Should be a beam coming.
Zenith now,
He gets one.
as I say, they're doing a good job
And the
of
back,
holding.
really nice job soft resetting from Zenith. And I don't know if it's like Ferocity needed to push harder. Maybe BK should have been on the left, and Leon should have been where he is. I assume Leon's like right behind him.
Stop themselves off. The Tyra ultimate does
Because like if BK's like in secret right now, like that's just a much better angle.
come out to
I mean,
start
they
things
lose
off,
Barrack
but
to
he's
a
not being able to
seismic
find
crash,
any
but
targets,
whatever.
At least initially, the Poppy Bomb repositioning
Then
Poison, at least for
did
the
he get
moment.
knocked
He's trying to
off?
clean up the Tyra, but he's
The
not
con?
gonna be
Or
able
was he
to.
just low?
Initially, the Poppy themselves off. The Tyra ultimate does come out to start things off here.
No,
but
he
he's not
was
being able
just
to
got
find any
picked,
targets,
I
at least
guess,
initially. The
by
Poppy
Inflame
Bomb
plus Big
repositioning
Game.
Poison, at least for the moment. He's trying to clean up the
Okay.
Tyra, but he's not going to be able to. Flame effects. With the
Forcing out
double
ults on the
kill here
defense is nice, I
onto
guess, but I
Poison,
mean,
finds one onto
you used
as
Con
well,
ult,
so able to stall things out.
which means that
Great
Zenith
job
can go stun if
answering
they
what
want.
was a very heavy push there
To be fair, if you're both going Jag, then Con ult isn't as value.
I think
Unless
it
you
was
can,
one
like,
of those
force them out, then
moves
ult is
from
squishy, but that's,
Ferocity
like,
that is,
I don't know,
we're
it could
gonna
happen.
press onto you, but we're gonna
It
see
could happen.
how scared you are. Like that was how timid are you?
So
Like,
Ferocity don't really have any good
and
ults
how
to
many ults do we
engage
get?
with.
We get a seismic crash, we get a crossfire,
to
we
do
get an inflame. Like, we're
Zenith,
set. We
but
came
that's
and
just
got what we
Zenith's
needed.
team
You have an
comp.
immortal, that's gonna be great, and a scout, which is helpful but not really game changing.
I don't
so
know. I mean,
Zenith kind of do exactly what
Inflame
Ferocity
there, like
needs.
I
They
like
hit the
that
panic
Velocity
button.
was popping
Right now, they're
ults
coming
like
into
very
this round as a
often.
deficit, even if they
That's
are
really
able
nice
to
on
keep it
Furia.
as 1-1.
And Va as well, his ultimate will be up for this.
It's a lot of
this
healing.
next Fight. That Dread's
Still doesn't
gonna
have enough
be
for
a
Kronos
huge
too, though. That's a
point
bit of a
of
rip.
contention, a big thing to initiate some of these fights, and he's done a great job so far of maintaining his healing.
So
keeping his-
how does this
his
play out if they
damage
both go
dealers
Jag? Or
healed
does
up
somebody
and
want to
finding
change it
himself a
up?
5-streak to start things off.
They're both
But
gonna go Jag.
pretty standard start here from both teams. Neither one trying to switch too many things up. Ferocity trying to hold
See
down
Barrack
this
ult
right
to
side
force
of the
O
map,
there,
but
and there comes
Effects
BK
has
out.
different things in mind, and Zenith is going to
No.
step on the point first here, but
There it
Inara
is.
going to have something to say about it.
King Bomb gonna come through and get a couple
Nando's
of
in a
stuns, but
weird
no big
spot,
follow-up yet.
but, like,
That's
this is
where Ferocity
fine.
is falling. That's been pretty much the story. They need
Tanks
to
are
kill
stacking
here,
now.
and they were able to manage to just save some of their
Dombolt's
teammates
gonna
that were
pick
almost falling. But
Dom.
again,
Leon?
nothing in return just
Yeah.
yet. This wall gonna keep Poison from getting.
Leon's
anywhere
doing
near as
something
much
behind
damage
the
as he
BK,
wants
I
to
don't
as
see
he jumps
what.
around. But Inara
Gets
is
out.
isolated.
Inara is isolated.
Nara gets
Actually,
there's
before
good
she
use of
died,
the Barrack
utilizing
ult,
a great wall
forces
here
them into
onto
stun.
Bomb King to keep him from
So
following
Zenith,
up
despite all
on
this, are
that
like all
ultimate,
still
but,
playing together pretty
you know,
decently.
He's not going to back down. He's going to keep pushing for this. As you
It's
see,
just-
Zenith is pretty much
I don't
walled
know,
off.
Ferocity
in this
had a
back
better-
room
I don't know,
here.
better
Ferocity
comp, maybe?
can collapse on them from all directions, and it looks like that's what they're about
I don't
to
like
do. The Bomb
that.
King, her Fluffle, adding in
Actually, no,
damage.
you have
Moore
Beam,
comes
you're
out to
good.
keep himself
You
alive.
Fury ult
Fury
here,
being
too.
able to
Yeah,
add on
okay,
some
there you go.
as
I mean,
well,
this is
but
where you gotta go
Mage
for it.
Monkey
They
getting
picked
very
the
low,
con.
he might fall, but he is able to get out. He is able to step into that Fury beam, and instead Instead,
There we
Baller
go.
Steve and
Oh,
Watkins
that's rough.
actually
They're gonna be
dropping
in trouble.
Stigma and the Con on the backside of that fight, and they're going to keep going here.
That was a
Zenith
really
may be
nice
able to
Nando
extend
with
that
beam
fight
then,
out long
actually.
enough to stay alive.
King Bomb tries rolling through. They do exactly what they
And
need.
you go,
So
okay,
kills
so like that's
Bot-
actually like go through what
Bomb
happened
King.
there.
5 streak.
So Cassiot comes
Start
out.
things off, but
Oh,
standards
where did my pixels
start here
go?
from both teams. Neither one trying to switch too many things.
So Khan's gonna be playing here. Where's the other deep? Where's the Tyra?
Up Ferocity trying to hold down this right side of the
Oh, Tyra's...
map, but Flame
Wait,
Effects
Tyra's
has
mid? Okay.
different things in mind, and Zenith is going
That's
to
fine.
step on the
It's
point
just
first.
Cassie
here, but
rotated
Inara
over, which is
gonna have
weird.
something to say about it.
King Bomb gonna come through and get a couple of stuns, but no big follow-up
And
yet.
then
That's
somebody's
where
flanking.
Ferocity's
You could be flanking with the Khan there. The Leon?
falling. That's been
I
pretty
think
much
that's
the
the
story.
play.
They need a kill here, and they were able to manage to just save some of their
And
team.
it's gonna reset. Dombelt hits
that
the Nando. Doesn't really get too much value out of
almost
it because
falling,
Inara was
Again,
DR'd.
nothing in return. Just
Leon's
yet.
like
This
1
wall
HP
can-
back right, trying to flank. Should have been with the Khan, I think.
Wasn't from getting-
And Khan is weird, in a weird spot. Like, Khan is disconnected from his DPS right now. Zenith are fine. Like, Zenith are playing this really well.
As much done as I think he wants to as he jumps around.
They
But
doing a
Inara's
good job
isolated.
giving.
Inara is isolated naturally.
Nara kind of
Before she
gets
died,
forced
you don't-
out, and I don't know if that's because... I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Like, she used all of her cooldowns, too, which is a bit rough.
Utilizing a great wall here onto Bomb King to keep him from
So then they... Now, Ferocity has, like, all the
following
angles
up
they
on
could
that Dama
want.
ultimate, but
I'd... Third person for these would be so helpful.
you know, he's not going to back down. He's going to keep pushing for this. As you see, Zenith
That was
is
risky
pretty
considering
much walled
Khan's
off
grab.
in this back room right here, and Ferocity can collapse on them from all directions, and it looks like that's what they're about to do.
Yeah, like, look how well
Do the
Ferocity
Bomb King
plays
for
this,
Fleppel.
though. Like, just having different angles.
Adding in damage. Immortal comes out to keep himself alive, and that Furia beam
And Inflame. How much?
walled off in
Yeah,
this back
he
room
got, like,
right here.
10% all
Ferocity
charges
can
from
collapse on them
beaming
from
the
all
Nando
directions,
there.
and it looks like that's what they're about to do. The Bomb King, her Fleppel, adding in damage. Immortal
No,
comes
not
out to
quite,
keep
but,
himself alive, and that Furia beam going to add on some as well, but Mage Monkey
Where did the
getting
rest of his
very
team
low
go,
here, and he
though? Because they picked the Khan, they
might
back
fall, but he is
up,
able to get out. He is able to step into that Furia beam, and instead, Baller Steve and
he
Watkins
misses, which is unfortunate.
actually dropping.
But they picked... Why did Leon get picked? Did they use alts?
Get out. He is able to step into that.
They used Tyra alt.
well,
Oh,
but
she's right here. Hello.
Mage Monkey getting very low here. And
So
he
he's in a
might fall,
weird
but he is able to
spot.
get
He
out. Is
falls
able
to the
step into that
Tyra, who
Furia
was
beam, and
mid.
instead, Baller Steve and Watkins.
So
actually
Leon was in a
dropping
weird spot.
Stigma and the Khan on the backside of that fight, and they're going to keep going here. Zenith
This
may
is
be able
really
to
scrappy.
extend that fight out long enough to stay alive.
The big
King Bomb
biggest.
tries
So like
rolling
that
through,
fight
they
in
do
Sun
exactly
kind
what
of
they
determined
needed.
a
So
lot.
skills Watkins and Baller Steve were able to pick
It's
up,
like
but
even
the
though
damage
the
they
Inara
had
went down, like that was still
got
a winnable
just
fight.
enough poke onto Barrack, onto Leon,
Okay.
onto Khan that there was no one who could feel comfortable and confident
You could have
enough
BK
to
ulted
step forward
earlier.
and try
You
to
could
keep the fight going.
have.
The minute Jalen Sanity came around the
Maybe
corner,
if you
he was
save Khan
melted.
ult, it
He
goes
fell
better. I
down,
don't
'cause
know.
Again, they kind of turned it on their head. While everyone on
It also
Zenith
seems
was
like Zenith got
confident,
value out of their ults.
eventually they just started pincering members
had at
of
least.
Ferocity
Right.
until they could get rid of them.
They said,
So how are they going to
"You're
attack
alone.
this?
I'll fight you."
You'd probably
All right,
want
you're
the
alone, I'll fight
Cassie
you, and it just
pushing.
kinda started to domino
face,
on
I
its
think.
way out of that, and you know, more to that point, it's hard
'Cause
to
then
fight
Tower
when you have
Fire
a
in
Furia
secret
who's
is, like,
healing
really
up
good,
for
yes.
6,000 health a
Yes.
second whenever her beam crosses over you. So the longer those fights go out,
Nice
that's gonna be
job.
some
They
hard
picked the
damage to
Inara
match,
with
but
Khan ult.
Ferocity not going to back down here on the defensive side. Kerfluffle and
I like the
Stigma
early Khan ult.
dropping
And
one
then
for
very
each
nice
of
job
them,
pushing
so
from.
Zenith needing to back off and
Stigma.
regroup here, and
I think it should have been
no
Tyra.
real
Or
ultimates
Tyra
aside
over
from
there,
the
but
seismic crash on Team Zenith's side. You
maybe
imagine the next minute and a half,
Cassie
they will
doesn't
be
have
able to
Wrecker and they
utilize
want to
if
be able to push into the
but
Khan.
Ferocity doesn't
I don't
have a
know.
lot of ultimate utility either, so
Pushing is going to be super
sort of
hard
a
into BK
composition
though.
versus composition fight that's about to break
It's like
out.
I don't know
And
how
the
you
fact that
pick,
mentioned
how
the
you
healer, the
open up
healing
this
coming down
fight.
from Fury. Like the great thing is that it is 6,000.
You'll
The
have
bad
Fury
news is
ult
that it can miss,
soonish.
But the good news
Oh, that's
is
a
that
rip.
Cauterize really doesn't affect
Sigma
it.
is, like, really
6,000,
just
90% of it, you're still getting
outperforming
enough
Flame
healing that
right
you're going
now.
to live through most of the damage. Whereas on the other side, Maldamba is going to feel the brunt of it.
Nara's
You have to win
plays
matchups
aggro.
like that. You have to be Sigma.
Oh, no,
Those
sorry,
are
Nara's
shots,
attacking, my bad.
engagements, Aside from the support, aside from the healers, make sure that they're just.
Yeah, I
going
mean,
to
Ferocity's
do
comp
one,
is just going to be super good
because
for like
otherwise
holding,
Fury
like, I
is
don't know.
absolutely
This
going
isn't
to
necessarily
overall
on
keep the healing up, I
Zenith.
think a little bit more. Maldamba, you have to play around those cauterized timers a little
That
bit
being
closer.
said, I don't think either
We're
team
we
uses
got 40
ults,
seconds
yes?
left on the timer. The Enlightenment is
Ferocity,
up and available.
maybe.
She's going to take a break here on the staircase. She
Maybe
knows
if
where
he's,
she
like,
wants to be, and
BK,
you know,
because that's
that
hard
is
to
where
get
the
value
Leon
out of
wants
one-point
to be. She's
fights.
going to have that range. She's going to have that
So, I don't know,
positional
BK's just hard to get
advantage
value out of
here,
in general.
but fight soon to break out. Now the ultimates are starting to come up online, so rather than just pure
PK doing
damage,
his
you're going to have
thing.
some utility out for both teams to start things off
Then
here.
if get
King Bomb up
low,
and available
like,
if he wants to utilize
Honestly, I
it.
think that you just
Both
push in
boys
really
are
hard and
doing
just
a
rely on
great
beam.
job of holding things off though so far.
Here's
A couple
one.
very low members here of Team Zenith though. For
Nobody's pushing
Couple of good bombs. King Bomb
secret.
charged up, and this
So
is
they're,
an ult
okay, this
charging
is
period
another way you
as
could do it.
well.
Yeah, so that means
Now
that
they're starting to collapse. You have Flame low, and they're going to be
Sigma's free in your back, or not Sigma. The Leon should be free in your backline.
able to get the kill. That's a great way.
And And she is.
charging
Would you
Geary
look
to
at
the
that?
ground, but now they're
Would you look at that?
starting to collapse. You have Flame
That's
low,
why
and
you
they're going
push
to be able to
secret.
get the kill. That's a great way to
Because
start.
otherwise, it's
Definitely
pretty free
Stigma
for that
finding
DPS.
3 on the
But no, it's not like,
backside
oh,
there,
the
so
Leon
up
will
in
pop
that
off if you.
staircase
Okay,
doing
well, holy
what
shit,
she
but like,
needs to do. Saw
not
her
necessarily that the Leon
taking a
will
seat,
pop
just
off if you
waiting
push
for
like that,
Zenith to
but
start rolling through
it
and
gives them the
knowing
chance to do
exactly where
that.
she needed to be, so
That being said, I think Zenith did a good job changing things up. And they definitely could have dealt with the Leon because that was very aggressive. Like, if they forced out Leon ult, that would have been fine. That being said, we have... Ooh, we don't have Scout at 100%. That's rough. It's actually... I don't know, it's not super important. Like, it's not necessary, but it's just a very nice thing to have that they don't.
You had the Scout out early on, which gave away their position, how they wanted to approach the fight. This round, they're not going to have that, but they're still an Inflame.
Curious to see if they pop Inflame early.
You can get a positional advantage.
Side note, I don't like Chrono's free on Furia because if you're running Stoke the Fire 4, it doesn't actually increase how many resets you get. I personally like Morale Boost because I think Fury ult is really valuable. So they're playing Sunroom. Okay.
5 ultimates available for Ferocity, so lots of ultimates.
So that hits their backline. They're doing a really good job. Where's the Barrack?
You see the Fury ultimate coming
Barrack's kind of peeling back for the Nando, it looks like.
It's an early start to this fight.
Yeah, okay. And they pick the Tara. Ferocity played that really well. That's like textbook Sun. Like that's
well, but unable to find the
I don't
target,
know.
but Watkins
Like that's how you play that angle.
Backside, so Zenith down 1 damage dealer.
Zenith are gonna stop reset.
They do get
very clean from both teams.
But they are
aside
down
from
a
the
man
pick
here,
on
so
the Tara, but you know.
Oh,
it was Leon ult.
Out a little bit.
Or Leon ult definitely
Not a lot of
contributed.
ultimates burned,
They used
actually.
Leon ult somewhere in that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Zenith in the
Ooh.
meantime, Cassie going low, but she's not gonna fall.
Where's the tank here?
Punch from the Leon here, nearly enough to take
They picked the Inara with Con ult. Nice.
out Fernando, but
They popped Fury ult. I would assume that was at the beginning of the point fight.
instead Watkins
Big Dom ball
Stigma,
into the
but
beam
Dread
Yuko.
Serpent coming out into the Furia beam, so actually works out pretty well for him on the backside, but here comes the
That's
Immortal.
aggressive.
He is gonna try
I don't know if
to
Fury
find
will
some
have a
targets
beam
with
for
this,
that,
not
but you have to
really able at the
touch.
moment. He's gonna go low, and he
Can't.
is gonna drop
Good Fear. Really nice Con ult. I didn't see where BK ult.
Immortal. He is gonna try
BK
to
ult was
find
channeled to
targets
kill
with
the
this,
Dom.
not really able to
That's
at
what
the
killed
moment.
him.
He's gonna go
Okay.
low, and he is gonna
That's fine.
drop, so Ferocity
I like that.
picking up their third
Pick the
point
con
of
for
this
sure,
round,
and then they
now
don't have
the
tanks and they can't
fight
contest.
breaks
Barrack
out on
ult
the
I don't think was
backside of that
necessary,
point.
but whatever.
I mean, we have the dome shield
They
coming
lose the
down.
con,
I'd say maybe a little
so-
bit too late, but the rest of the ults being used by Ferocity came in right on time, making sure that they.
Yeah, Ferocity played that really well. I think that they could have sort of... I think that Zenith could have sort of held where they were with the Nara on point and Nando like forcing the Barrack. Like, if you stop contesting me, I'll push into your backline sort of thing.
That's been the play.
They could have held like that. I like the Barrack playing back there. I think that's pretty decent.
Certainly utilizing the ultimates to their highest percentage, and
And
Stigma's
yeah,
ultimate is
so
definitely
then the
available
tower
as
getting
well,
picked
but
just
this is
kinda
what we didn't see last round,
let
where
Ferocity
starting to
snowball with
roll,
their
starting
con
to have a
ult.
lot of their advantage. They started off so hot on this map, fell off a little bit on
Which
the
is
last
just
point fight.
con is strong.
Able to
Not
find
much
a
you can do about
defensive
that, so it's
stand,
only
but
really the
there was a
initial
while there where
fight that went
Zenith
wrong.
had all of the streaks
Not much
in
you
the
can do
game,
after
and,
that.
you know, they seem to be the hot hand, but Ferocity.
So
able to
Ferocity
keep
don't have
things
anything to
off here a
push
little bit,
with, which is
and
like
are looking
how
to
it should
push
be
things
after a
through,
point fight.
close out
Zenith
the
have
top
Furia
corner.
ult, just because that charge is super fast. I
I
think you want to pop that here when they start pushing into you, just because like you'll have it back for sure.
Especially with the way Brightmark
Might as well win a fight with it.
This is going to be Zenith like
They
playing
fear the
their minds out. That's gonna be
Nando.
a good Dread Serpent being able to get a little bit of zoning, but Poison's incredible.
But they're not
low
able to
and really
push.
has the impact he needs right now.
They're not
He is
pushing
able to
secret.
drop
Why isn't
back
either
and
team
get
pushing
himself
secret?
healed, which is, but
And
as I
BK gets
say that, he
picked.
drops Flame Effect,
They use the
picking up
on ult, though.
Poison, utilizing those positional
Don't get
advantages
anything for it,
very
and they
well,
did
so
pop
Bomb
Inflame.
King
Nice.
down
They use
for
Scout
this
too.
fight, and
They'll probably
I
have
think
that back.
Ferocity's going to be smart, back off a little
Yeah,
bit.
so all these ults should be back.
Realize that they need to stall, at least for a moment.
Okay,
before
so
they're
now
able
you can
to
reapproach with
reconvene
con ult, but I
and
don't
get
think
this
that you
push
do, to
going
be
again.
completely
Smart play
honest.
there from Ferocity to stall things out.
Sigma
Because like
still playing in
it
the range.
essentially guarantees you a zone. If you win the initial fight like without using con ult, then you're good, and it's just so good. You could use it here. Oh, Barrack gets picked. Never mind. They didn't use ults for that, no? Okay.
Seconds to be able to push it. Overtime is not the
Leon's
easiest thing to
pushing,
do, but they're charging their ults up.
or you
They
could have the
already
Leon
the
push
overpower.
push
They're about to have a dome
phase.
shield, a king bomb.
I think
If they do
BK
it well
into
enough, they could even
the
get a
tower
Dread
would be
Serpent
fine.
ready in time, and as it's ticking up even faster, this is
There
looking
we
like
go.
a very late game.
Where's the tower? Where's the tower fight back? Did you get poked out?
Absolutely, and Zenith
Why is
needing
Barrack
to
up here?
continue
Hello?
on and finding that damage. Fernando going so low to start off this final
And
push
BK
here,
forces
which
out the Tyra. This is going
not
really
ideal,
well.
of course, but then there's always the Fury Beam that you're able to get yourself healed up with. Fernando just proving to be a thorn in the side of Ferocity, dashing around, trying to keep himself alive here, but he's going to be taking so much damage in the back. Actually,
Wait, no, he lives!
Beam,
Oh my god, he
finding
lived for
himself a
so
double
much longer
kill
than he should.
before Flame FX is able to
And they picked
drop
both
the
tanks,
Fury
hello?
Beam, trying to keep himself alive here, but he's going to be taking so much damage in the back,
dude.
actually countering out that Furia Beam. Poison
Cauterize
finding himself a double
free.
kill before Flame FX is able to drop the Leon. So that's a
And
1-for-2
Ferocity only
trade so
loses
far
the
with respawn
poison
advantage
pops
coming-
off. Where did he
is
do
able
that?
to
Was he
drop
just
the
like
Leon.
behind the
So
con
it's a
here? Oh no, he's in secret. Hey, pushing secret. That's pretty good.
1-for-2 trade so far with the respawn advantage coming out for Team Zenith. They do have 5 ultimates available.
More and
for
more I
both
watch
sides,
these
but
like Drag Falls
Ferocity
VODs, like more and more I think
may be
secret
able
is
to be a little bit more
really
aggressive
important.
With overtime.
They're
Ando
going for
comes
this.
out, says
Ando has to
bye-bye the
contest.
Inara. She goes flying off
They're
the map.
committing,
Here
yeah,
comes
this
the Dread
is
Serpent, the Fernando running away in the
very
payload. Looks
nicely
like it's going to
done.
be able to get pushed in here, provided that the
Very
rest of
nicely
Team
done.
Zenith gets cleaned up, and they are.
So yeah, that was like really good using
Ferocity,
con alt. They
A
freaking, I don't know, they
high-powered
pushed
team fight there
secret.
to end things.
Beam wasn't enough. Unlucky. Let's look at draft. Okay, So the Tyra didn't seem to do great for Zenith, but I don't know if it was the issue. It was more like... Like, neither of these drafts is bad. It's just like, is Leon better than Tyra? I think so. But that's just me. BK did really well. Did Zenith have a chance to take it? They could have taken it over Cassie. But Cassie on Drag Falls, because Scout is like super important. Like, Drag Falls is the hardest map to position on, in my opinion. So Scout is actually so good. Or really good, yeah. What else? Like, I mean, both these drafts are so standard, like, there's not much to talk about. Like, both these drafts could have won easily. Neither team got outdrafted. I like Ferocity's draft. Like, it's honestly almost identical to what I would have taken. Like, really nice. And Koa Grover bans are fine. Torv Ash. Ash ban is interesting. Because why do you ban the off tank? Because if they ban the off tank, then they get the only good off tank. Like, you know, you ban Ash, they ban Koa. Then the only real top tier off tank is left is Nando, and then you're left with like Nando Ruckus, I think it is. So why don't you leave the Ash open? Why don't you ban BK? Some throw ban. Ban the Dompa. No, I don't think you do that, but like actually that wouldn't actually be that bad. No, if you ban the Dompa, you force them into the set. I don't know. That feels like a haha, screw them over, and like our draft suffers more because of it. So maybe not Dompa, maybe just something throwy like a BK. Ban Moji. I don't know, it's related to Tyra. Like, I feel like they could have taken Leon and done better. They could have... Maybe they could have fought about alts more. I don't know. Like, what could you have taken instead of Tyra? You could have taken a Zen. Zen would have been fine. You could have, Zen actually would have done really well, I think. Because it can push with the Nando well. You can still have Cassie to buy Wrecker and force out the con. I think Zen would have been fine. Like, Tyra's fine as well, but it's just... It didn't seem like it got that much done. Like, the issue wasn't the draft, so it's kind of hard to, like, talk about it too much. And... It's best of 5, yeah? What is that? Frog Isle? Gonna see more snipers. I wonder if there's gonna be any, like, target bans from either team.
Difference here is
Like
that,
if Ferocity's
you know,
gonna ban the
Zenith should be
Kinessa or
a little
something.
bit more expectant of it, right?
because they got drafted by Nessa in the previous set that they played.
Haven't seen a ton of
Con.
games, but when we have, they haven't really been
Makes
banned
sense.
out very
Koa.
much. They are still picked.
Yeah, and I think you know, I think
Ash
that's
ban
the
wouldn't be
key.
horrible.
You're
BK?
getting a little experience with it. Maybe you're not as hyper.
So I think you take the Ash here.
Room.
Yes. They are learning from their mistakes. This is what I said last time. They took the NR here, and then they got fucked by Ash and Nessa.
Maneuvering. That's definitely what Zenith need. They need to catch Ferocity.
So what do you do here? Do you do Inara Eevee? Do you do Inara...
Similar to a lot of the
I think
banners
Inara
we've seen
Eevee would be
across
solid
the
if you're going
board
for a
for
sniper
Android.
again.
But then they take the Inara Canessa early. This is their switch.
Oh, taking the Nessa away from Ferocity.
Could answer
Actually,
to
that makes
something
sense. So now you get
really
Ash.
urgent.
Oh my god, Grover. You get Grover
Or,
Eevee here, yes?
Nessa.
And then you can push
There's
danger.
Also, Ruck is still available. No, it hasn't been looked at yet. I
Just
feel
take
like,
Eevee.
especially
Barrack's
with Grover,
fine,
they're not gonna pick
but
it up
like,
this time, but they already
why are
have
you
Ash, they already have
taking it
ways
now?
to just W key to the back line and
So now
put
Zenith
Barrack
do
right through the
Nando
point here. Ash can sort of
Eevee,
take the
Nando...
and
Dom
be
was
that
good.
for them. There's no Bomb King there,
So you're gonna take Nando
Although
last,
wanna
unless
get
you want to do
aggressive with
Ruckus,
now
in
for
case, in which
Ferocity.
case
They have a
you're
nice base,
insane.
but now they have to make some decisions and actually define this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Ferocity
and
can
that's
get
where
Eevee
we've seen
and
them
Leon
lack
here, yeah.
sometimes in these defining
So you want to
moments.
take like Victor?
Ferocity,
Victor be fine?
excuse me, on Zenith's side, Ferocity seemed to have a
Is
bit
it
of
Zenith?
opportunity above them to take something that can apply
There's
some
the
pressure,
Eevee.
and that's the Eevee. But
This is gonna be super interesting. Both of these teams played this map before, and it was again like this sort of dance around the Nessa.
So is he taking
Oh, the
Eevee
Grover
to
that
start
early
with
actually
the
makes
Grover?
sense.
Wow,
They
he's
take their
gonna be
own
matched up
sniper.
with the Strix. So
Right, that
early on,
exists.
Boy,
I mean, it's a good one-two punch, right?
Yeah.
I think I've had a lot of confidence in Poison. We talked about him not having
Huh.
the greatest
This is
PPS
it. This
limit.
is really interesting. I completely forgot that Ferocity could take their own sniper. Because there's no way that Zenith can push that. There's absolutely no way. Unless they're like 5-man rush or something, but that'd be dumb. So don't do that. God, this is such a good draft from Ferocity. I think that you take the Eevee earlier because I think Zenith should have taken it to protect their own Nessa. Because I think that Eevee is going to give the Zenith's Nessa a really hard time this match. The Strix, man, that's... They've definitely thought about this. Ferocity definitely thought about this. And the Cassie last. I don't know. I think Leon would have done fine. Maybe do Cassie because she has better burst against the flankers. This is such a good draft from Ferocity.
So if Strix sets him up, I mean, he might be able to get these kills.
Zenith's draft is fine. Like Zenith's draft is fine. It's not bad. I just think it's worse in this situation to Ferocity. So they banned the BKY though. Because like I remember I theory crafted that like BK would do really well against Ash Eevee.
yeah, Cassie picked up just
Right?
like that. That's a very interesting choice. We'll see if it works out for Zenith. Maybe just a comfort pick as
But-
well. We know Flame and Watkins.
So
have to
banning that
show
maybe
up
hurt
if
them
it's
more than
going to
anything.
last
Maybe they would have
another
taken it
game after this.
last.
Frog Isle
I don't know if you
could
want
be in.
BK to a
Ferocity
Strix, so
looking
that's
to
gonna be
3-0
rough.
Zenith. Let's send it back.
Because like you're just
Your casters.
this entire match is just gonna be like
Time to see if
who
Zenith
wins the
can
sniper
answer
battle is
back,
gonna be
and
really
I'm
interesting.
flattered. They saved the best map in the game for me to get in here today. So Frog Isle finally coming out, and you know, you look at
Legendaries
the
look
was a
pretty
mistake
standard, I
advantage.
guess.
You got 3 on the right side, 2 on the left side.
Yeah, well now they do at least.
Oh, wait, Joe.
Definitely,
Better
you know,
name is
the ability
interesting.
to admit whether or not you were a
Crack
mistake
shot
there.
seems to be like the
Definitely
more
plays into
standard
the game.
thing
Now,
now,
Watkins
which
is the
is
one I'm gonna
interesting
look at.
because
The
you
gun
so
wizard
rarely get value out of it.
here, and the reason
Oh,
is
let's not
because
spectate the sniper,
I believe it
please.
was last
Let's
week
spectate the
during
Grover. Watch the
qualifiers,
Grover start
Zenith
forcing out some snipers.
won 2 games in a row, and both times Watkins was on Canessa. He is a very, very good Canessa player, very good sniper.
You can
and
peek
it's
that
just how
again
well
down
can you
below.
handle it when you're under
You
the
should be able
pressure.
to. You
That's
should be
different.
running to
And a great thing to note as
So
well.
Eevee
is
and
you
Ash
do
are gonna
have
be
the
trying to
Eevee
push.
pick on the side of Ferocity, and that's just going to provide so much
That's a
pressure
rip.
onto the Canessa, and that's why we saw so much success with the Canessa.
This game is
on
going to
that
rely
first Bright
so
Rush game,
much
there
on
was just
individual
no-
mechanics.
no
Maybe
real
they take the
pressure
Cassie
on
to force
Eevee
out the
to
Ash. That
maneuver
makes
too
sense
much,
too.
and Eevee doing just
But they
what we
trade off
expected to
tanks.
do is
This
back up
favors
some of that stigma
the
damage
Eevee,
coming
because
in
Eevee
from
can
the
now do
Strix, but
this.
Canessa does drop one for herself. And you see right there, that's going to be
Wouldn't
the
you like to
threat
have
the
the Eevee
entire
here?
game on that Canessa. That wormhole in, the quick shot, the wormhole out. It's going to be something for Zenith to
Is
look
the
out
Ash
for.
back?
And the more shots Poison gets off in that time, the longer it takes Watkins to turn and shoot or Flame to turn and shoot, the better it works out for Ferocity, because that's going to be
Overheals.
on the tops of 1,600 damage. Then one shot from Strix from either a pistol or
So yeah, you can see the
a
barracks
scout
looking at
or a
danger. I
palm
really
rifle
like that.
is going to be
Nice
enough to
angle
just
from
finish him
Flame.
off. It all does depend whether or not just Poison can keep up the
Nessa's
pressure that
mid
he's
now?
been putting.
And this is why I love
It's fine.
Frog Isle. You get a lot of dueling back and
Nessa
forth,
can't peek.
one-for-one trades. You see one sniper on one.
Hold up. What happened? Did he get stunned?
Frog Isle, you get.
No, he just kind of
Just
dies.
Poison can keep up the pressure that he's been
The
putting.
Eevee?
And this is why I love Frog
Did she get shot by anything in particular?
Isle. You get a lot of dueling back
Not
and
really.
forth, one-for-one trades. You see
And
one
oh,
sniper
Flames
on
in your
one
backline.
side, chunking players from the other, and vice versa. So certainly a fun map to be able to get into and watch.
So the Cassie's giving
Ferocity
it a
off
lot
to
of
a bit
value.
of a slow start here. Zenith up to 96% and climbing here on this point, but
Nice
Ferocity not able to get a
knockback.
touch. So Zenith winning that first fight despite getting the
They
first
push
or
danger.
first
That
few
didn't
deaths,
seem like it was
rather,
communicated.
and Ferocity on the back foot for once.
And I'm sure there's a bigger story,
Wow.
but all I saw
I thought
was
this would be going
what
differently.
came up in the kill feed, and that was Baller Steve killing off Eevee, and that is a great.
Yeah,
way to
that pick
start
on
the
Eevee was
fight. You
huge,
Get rid of
though.
probably the one that's
So.
been the biggest nuisance. It creates so little.
Like, the rest of the
pressure.
team
Now all
played
of a
pretty
sudden
well. The
Strix has
Cassie
to do
got picked,
everything to
but-
create the room for the Ashe, for the Barrack, and the minute they get pressured out, if they get
This is
killed off,
interesting, because this is going to rely
there's
so
no
much
one
on
can jump down
mechanics.
on the point anymore, and I think that's exactly where Ferocity kind of fell
Because
flat.
it's going to be
Poison
so hard to
has
mess up
play
positioning on this
20
map that, like,
perfectly, picture perfectly
that's
for an
barely
Eevee
gonna have an
to
impact.
make sure that
Unless somebody
everything
gets caught
goes
out.
right for his team. The minute he is just off step, out of
Ashe
rhythm,
ult, ooh.
it all falls apart.
Here comes
That's a lot of
Seismic Craft
CC.
to answer
Grover ult
back
is
on
out,
the Damba
though.
Ultimate, to add on to the Damba Ultimate rather, but Jalen Sanity's found
That's
his way
about
around the
Nano
back
gets
side
picked.
of Team Zenith. Ferocity starting to roll here. Flame Effects drop Stigma, so that's one of the two snipers down, but Poison
Poison's kinda
is going
getting
to
marked
drop
down.
Flame Effects as an answer. So Team Zenith, although even kills and
I
deaths coming
mean,
out
they
of the
had
start of this
Grover
fight,
ult for the
Ferocity
seismic
getting
crash,
Zenith now on the
so-
back foot and winning
And the fear.
that initial point defense.
I mean,
So that's
so
just
far,
nicely
they've
played
been
from
doing
the
what
Grover.
they need to. And I'm just going to say it. Watkins, again, kind of proving that he's a really good Kinessa, really, really good on Frog Isle, which is part of the reason that Zenith chose to come here. And it's those shots, those trades, I mean, 100 health walking out of it versus now a full health Stigma does make a big difference.
Strix
But
holding
if
danger.
you can at least go even every time that shot happens, then you are going to find yourself ahead. Unfortunately for Watkins, he gets picked off at the end of it.
Barrack
So
killed the
Stigma
Nessa.
coming out on top of this engagement, but that's
That's
going
a
back and
rip.
forth every single time. Neither one's been consistent so far.
Certainly the storyline to
Fine,
watch,
so. I
seeing
like
which
it.
one is able to come out on top, but you've seen a lot of good follow-up damage from either of the other damage dealers on both of these teams, and Poison starting things off so hot on this map where he's able to follow up that Strix damage so
Cassie,
well.
I
but
like the
Team
Cassie
Zenith
pick,
not wanting to give up,
otherwise,
finding this small side
Zenith kind of
angle
walked
here.
forward,
Ferocity
dome
getting
shield.
onto the back foot, and you do see Ultimate starting
Soft
to come out.
reset
The
from
dome shield
Zenith.
dropped for
Except-
the Barrack,
no, I can't
trying
get
to
out, that's
them
a rip.
to back off from that side. Jalen Sanity
Oh, he hit
is able to
that,
find
nice.
Ninny, so that's going to be the Inara down for this point.
So
with
they
10
trade
seconds
Barrack
left.
ult
She's
for the
gonna have a
Inara.
long road back here, and
Which would usually be good
Ferocity
on a point
electing to do
fight,
a little
but
bit of zoning right now. Try to keep Zenith away from that payload. 5 seconds left here. Who's going to
I
get a
don't think
touch?
they have
You gotta
touch,
think
do
it's going to be the Fernando, but
They
they're
shouldn't.
doing a good job of zoning him out, and that's going to be
Maybe-
it.
I don't know.
Successfully.
Being able to get
Maybe
down.
it was
Didn't
winnable.
burn the Immortal, so you're still going to have
And then
Zenith
what else?
coming
I mean,
in
you feed them
ult
Barrack
at
ult
the
and
ready,
credits, like,
as Dome Shield was used
yeah.
pretty early towards the tail end of that
I don't
round, so
know.
it's not going to quite work out fully for Ferocity.
Oh,
But it's
no.
Are we
moments
really
like that.
spectating because he's
Poor
because he
Jalen
stole a
Sanity
kill on Ashe, really?
hate to
goes
see it.
off the map.
Well, you love to see it. It's funny to see,
Oh,
but it
man.
depends on who you're a
Okay.
fan of. Absolutely.
Rain
So,
start.
Mage Monkey
No,
and this Fernando
no
doing
extra
a great
healing.
job of providing that point tank and providing that payload offensive there, but
Okay,
able to find the second point here.
Ashe
Team
can
Zenith
force out
Ferocity
the
now
should be
going
able to
for
force
the
out the
point fight
Nando
to
here.
find it, and you look at the damage charts there, and the Kinessa was the top, and Strix
Mm-hmm.
a little bit lower down, so he's not having the same
Okay.
impact as the Kinessa is.
And that's, I feel
And
like
Zenith
Stigma
have
maybe
a
holding
lot
some
of
shots
CC
back
ults.
more
That Scout,
often.
which is
Maybe
going to be
he's
nice,
waiting
but it's
for
like not them
Watkins more
huge
than
on
he's
it's not
shooting
huge
the
on this
side,
map.
whereas Watkins, I mean, he has an Eevee that's trying to get to him.
Hello,
He's
where's the
constantly
Ashe?
peeking, looking for
Oh,
a front line. This is
she
the
just
kind of
rode up
pressure you
mid.
need.
That's some
Don't send
space.
Eevee back there. Send someone who can take the damage,
have
take a
Riza?
couple of shots. Unfortunately, a Dread Serpent's going to cause some
I
trouble. but
like
Jalen
ulting the
Sanity's
tree
still gonna
there.
be able to plant the
Wait, can he
flag.
get healing?
Jalen
No,
Sanity
oh
drops
shit.
his banner, keeping
He's
himself
dead.
alive as long as he stays inside that circle, and Stigma now is trying to find that offensive
yeah.
pressure that he's been missing.
Where is the Eevee?
Initially off the start of this game,
Like, did the
Watkins
Nando force out the Eevee? Like that was an interesting
drops
play
Jalen
from the
Sanity.
Ashe that
Finally, he does
I
drop
don't
Stigma
know.
as well, so getting the upper hand on that sniper versus sniper battle right
I
now,
should.
and Watkins not wanting to slow down and really helping Zenith win this first point fight.
Yeah, I like the upness out there, like a pick there, and then the point is pretty much yours.
Before this next fight breaks
Pretty
out.
much.
I mean, that didn't even feel like the same.
They
Stigma.
still
He
got
was 3 shots in a row, like, after a great Kinessa
Nando,
game
they
into
got
a great
Eevee,
Leon
Strix.
game. And so far,
Oh,
with Strix, like, I
Barrack
know, like,
got
after a
picked.
great Kinessa game into a great Leon even feel like the same Stigma. He missed 3 shots in a row, like after a great
Slate,
Kinessa
rip.
game into a great Leon game. And so far this Strix, like I've seen him miss more shots than hit, and that is where things fall apart. I mean, his damage just isn't there. We saw it at the beginning of the round. Watkins is at this point just fundamentally hitting
So
more
Ash is
shots
on
than
point,
we're
which is
seeing out of
never
the
good.
Strix.
But Ferocity not looking
not
to
never,
give
sorry.
up that easily. You do
Poison's
have Jalen
dead.
Sanity.
Stigma
He
wins the
utilized
sniper
his
battle.
ultimate just a minute ago, so he does not have that available just as of yet. Immortal is coming out. That's an early Immortal in this fight, and that's going to be down for the rest of this point fight right here. Maybe a little bit defensive, trying to keep
Okay,
himself up and
winnable.
available.
This
Mini
is scrappy.
drops Stigma. We see him dead again.
You got
Jalen
Dome
Sanity
Shield soon. Varric,
cleans up
you
flame
should be able to
effects,
find
so
out
one
there.
missing
Yes,
for
nice
each side
juke.
here as overtime starts
Still
ticking
heal
away.
point
You
from
gotta
there. You
imagine
got
whoever wins
big
is going to
game,
finish this
yes.
fight. The Dome Shield keeps the
Is that
Barrack
combo?
alive,
Yeah.
at least for the moment. The Fernando getting
Are they
bumped
giving?
off of the point
Oh,
right
no,
now.
no, it's
It's
just on point,
Ferocity
okay.
who have at least reclaimed for the
It's done.
moment
Nice ice
this
block.
point.
Does he have
pressure.
deft hands?
But Poison gets dropped. That's a huge loss. But Watkins
He
down on the
trades
other
for Nessa,
end
though,
as
which is
well.
fine.
Flame effects answering
Now your
back. A
sniper's
great
free
kill there
way,
onto
Z.
Poison.
That's
You
very
need to
far.
clean up that Eevee if you're going to start winning
You're not
some of
playing
these fights.
ambush
And
anymore.
this fight is so far
They use
back
Dome
and forth.
Shield.
Mini Stigma drops again
They've
early
got
at the
Grover
beginning
ult.
of this fight. They're
Like
missing
now,
that sniper
if it use it,
presence.
yeah,
but
just stabilize.
81% and climbing. Here comes the Ashe ultimate up and available
Spending
again. The
everything.
Whirlwind
Why
drops
is
back
Nessa
off
being
the
able,
point,
or
but looks
Cassie
like
being able,
Zenith now
being
able to start
allowed to do
retaking
this? Sorry,
as
where's the Ash?
stays
Oh, Ash
inside
ulted
of her
point,
circle, but
right?
she is going to
Okay.
drop to the backside here. Poison
Maybe
comes
force.
back.
Oh, they picked the
answers with a
Dom.
couple
Oh my
kills.
god, dude,
They got rid
Eevee.
of the support
Eevee
when
on
they played
Frogile.
Mattress, trying
Well, that's
to
a
get
lot of
aggressive,
kills.
99 to 99. It's been going the way of Ferocity. That's the last kill they needed.
Grover
to
and
get the point,
Eevee are the
and
only
that
ones
is
alive
exactly
after
where they were able to
that.
out
And
Ash.
Strix.
Grover stayed alive the whole time. Doesn't matter that Strix died at
Wow,
the beginning.
that
of
was
literally every
really nice.
engagement he showed his face in.
Ferocity and
And I
Poison
wanna
kind of
say
popped
that's
off.
just a huge shout out to Poison, having that
So
wherewithal
it's like
to
not holding
recognize,
danger
I need to
hurt
get them
both
back. I
those
need to get
teams.
Baller Steve.
That's
Like if I don't kill off
okay.
this
He has
Maldamba,
situation.
then it doesn't matter if we can kill off Cassie, we can kill off Anar. Like the rest will
Jeez.
stay alive. They win that fight.
They picked the
off
Inara
of
too. This
getting rid
is
of the
snowball
support.
potential.
That fight actually lasted so long. If you look back at it, I think Stigma dropped at the initial engagement,
Came back
respawned,
and
dropped
died.
again, and then came back
I don't
and
really have
helped
ults
clean
to
up the fight.
push.
So
Zenith have
both teams, I guess you could
Dumba.
call that a good job of extending the fight. Ferocity is able to come out on
The only thing about
top.
Eevee is their
At
damage
least
isn't
this
really
time
consistent.
So we'll see their grit here on their offensive
But I think
push,
that's
and
fine.
Fernando finding that fun little side spot where you see the tanks
They're
butting
low,
heads
here
a
comes
good bit of the
Dumbo.
time. I saw
Nice
Dreadserpent
shot.
come out
They
on the
trade.
backside of the fight right there. Not too much follow-up
Nice.
from the rest of Team Zenith, and instead they're going to fall, but
That was nice
Watkins
too.
finds Stigma off to the side, so multiple kills getting traded back and
Yeah, I
forth
don't know.
here
They picked
on
the
either
Inara. Oh, that's
side.
aggressive.
Ferocity, at least for the moment, finding themselves
Oh
the
my
upper
god, he
hand.
hit that.
Ooh, and a nice little close-up.
Oh, contesting the
headshot
point 'cause he
coming
has
down,
to,
but it's not gonna
that's
be
fine.
enough. Kerfluffle kills him
Interesting
off
that he
the
popped
entire
head under.
time while the rest of Zenith was dead. Watkins.
Don't
doing
worry,
whatever he
team. I
can,
got this.
plugging
They use
people
Nando
with
ult
shots,
too.
but
Yeah, oh god, they don't
it's
have
just
anything.
not going to convert to the kills at that time. That was the real unfortunate moment for him. Ooh,
We need to
almost
dash
got
up
out of there.
for that.
And that's
Rip.
what kind of got Watkins right back into the fight, right? Jalen Sanity was up there for a long time, but that re-engage made
Yeah, I mean, the
that
Nash
fight
shot was
so
fine. Maybe if you play more
Despite
aggro.
being down 3-1,
Like, you can't really.
Watkins is the reason that they're still in it
I don't know.
3-1
Yeah.
at this point. I mean, he's had
Okay,
such a
like,
higher
ults aren't
level
going to
of
be
pressure.
the
I mean, Stigma
most
is 6-6
important
and 3,
aspect of
Watkins
this,
is
and like, they
5-5
don't have
and 4,
many
but
either way.
for the
There
hand that
is
they've been dealt
Barrack
this
and
year,
Ash, so
Watkins
tank
has
ults from
found
Ferocity, so they should be able to,
so
like,
much pressure
create a lot of
onto the
space.
side of Ferocity.
I don't want to
so
see that Ash ult into the
Zenith
back
really
line again.
have
That
him
didn't
to
work
thank
out.
that they're still in this, but Ferocity looking to end this game on a few streaks here. They do have some ultimates up and available.
So, like,
3-1
I
going
don't
into
really
this
need to
final
talk about
point, but they're gonna
positioning.
get
I
on
don't feel like I do, just because it's
I
going
mean,
to be so standard.
20,000 damage separating the two.
Barrack
That's
gets forced
really,
out.
really choice headshots that have been coming down from Watkins, separating them, and now not able
like
to get rid
it.
of Jalen again.
Eevee's in
being
your
able
back
to get into
line.
that ult. That's just going to
Not
cause
getting
so
healed.
much trouble. This assert
Oh, there it
dominance
is.
keeps him alive for so long.
Oh,
but
no.
Oh my god, that was
Oh,
very
no,
nice.
Mage Monkey gets rid of Jalen's sanity, and now the
And
rest
they
of the
picked
kills
the
are going to
Eevee.
start
She didn't get
falling.
stunned, did she? I just...
Oh no,
Whenever I
Mage
see a
Monkey
Domba
gets
killing
rid of
Eevee, I always
Jalen's
wanna-
sanity, and now the rest of the kills are going to
Just kinda
start
gets
following.
bursted.
Baller Steve, Poison goes back to base.
So yeah, your
those are huge
danger
losses on
duo,
the side of
like, I don't know what
Ferocity
you
and
wanna
Team
call
Zenith at
it, is
least able to
dead.
stabilize things for the moment,
Turrets
but
or flat are
Barrack
just
turrets are getting
gonna...
in the face of the Fernando.
ring it
He's not
into the
gonna care.
Nando.
He's just going to put up the shield and just rack
Where's
up
the
those
Inara? Did
percentage
Inara die?
points while he can, but we saw this in that last fight where these
I'm
longer
Reinhardt.
fights,
Pushing Machine
Ferocity's okay
plot.
with taking it because you'll have
Huge
you have
ult.
the Strix coming back.
Very
You'll have all
nice.
these players coming back. Strix dies early on in this fight again. Mage Monkey doing his
They've got
best
Barrack
to
ult if
get
they want to
down
use
that.
that.
Get his
There
health
it
low. The
is.
Dome Shield coming out onto
he
that
was
Inara as
caught.
well, forcing her back.
Fear's
But here
gonna-
comes the Daba ultimate. Mage Monkey doing his best to get a touch onto the point, and he is
Really do
able
too
to. And he's
much.
just trying to put out damage, trying to get these guys off of
Poison
the back of the point
takes
here, but you
out-
gotta watch out for the response coming in.
Very nice from
Ferocity. Is
Poison.
not a
That's why you can
long
test
trek
danger.
to this point.
So despite the
Wherever
Ash
he
being
can right now.
flat
Poison
for some
against the world.
reason,
Well, the rest of the team's still there, but he's the one getting aggressive. He can get rid of Baller Steve right there. That makes a huge
going in.
difference. and
Very
that final
nice.
shot is gonna be able to seal
even
the
if you
deal,
trade there.
and that makes it
Like,
a lot
Baller
more
Steve would have
difficult
to like a
for
mid-air
Zenith to withstand
stun,
the damage from the
which I wouldn't put past him, but
There it
like...
is, 99% in climbing, and Nara the last.
This- they don't have
big
heals,
threat
this
there
is
on their
over.
side, and that's
Wait, was
gonna
he?
put it 99% in climbing, and Nara the last big threat
Oh
there
my
on
god.
their side. and
Flashbang
that's
and
gonna be
fucking
it. Team
emoting
Ferocity
Cassie,
able
dude.
to clean up Team Zenith
Value.
3-0 here, and team. That's hard to see because. it looked
Yeah,
like
really
Zenith
nicely played.
was
I
doing
don't
a
know
lot.
why the Ash was like danger, but Eevee there
That's hard
kind
to-
of carries.
that's
Like,
hard to
there you go.
see
There,
because
that's
it
the
looked like
Eevee.
Zenith was.
Why you not take Eevee, Zenith? So if they take, I think that, I think you need to take an Aura. But I think that you take the I think that Zenith is fucked no matter what they take. If Ferocity take the Ash. Because if they do a Nara Eevee, they can't push. Because the other team is Ash. And probably some, like a Cassie or a BK. Well, not BK, but like a Cassie or something that does well against an Eevee. And then you have the Ash forcing out the Nando. If you take Grover, then like you're fucked. Because you can't let Ash and Nara get through. Because then you're outclassed in both tanks. You can't let... I guess you can let Eevee go through because Ferocity didn't take it. I don't know why they didn't take Grover Eevee second. Like, is Barrack really that important? Like, would Zenith do an Nara Barrack? They actually might have with the Nessa. They actually might have. But I don't know. That feels more of like a trying to screw over them instead of getting something that's good for you. I think that Ferocity should have taken the Eevee earlier, and just because like if they didn't get it, then I think they lose this game. Because a lot of the fights they won because Poison popped off, and he was able to pop off because he's Eevee, and he's a good player. So, And, like, I don't think they take Barrack, so I think you want to grab the Eevee. Just so you can have Ash Eevee danger. And then an Aranessa, you give them Grover Eevee. Like, I think that Ferocity messed up, but I also think that Zenith messed up by not taking the Eevee when they should have. If anything, just like, because Eevee does fine, like with a Nando, it does fine into an Ash, like. And it's not screwing over your draft, and it's taking something away from them. So I think you take that if you're for Zenith. I think that both teams should have taken the Eevee earlier. I think that an RNS is like... Because like if Ferocity does Ash, then Grover Eevee, and you take an RNS up first to Zenith, do you lose? Because they get the same draft. I mean, they get the same draft, but it's like... I mean, they did lose, I guess, is the better way to put it, so... But I think that Zenith could have taken... Damba Eevee, I think, would have been the play. I think that Damba Eevee would have been the play after Ferocity doesn't take it, but I think Ferocity should have taken it. The Cassie did really well. I think that was a good pick. But... Or no, sorry, I want the Eevee. Cassie did do well, but like, I think Eevee does better. I think. This, again, Fury crafting and all. And maybe Zenith have tried this, because like, this is obviously, like, they've done this Inara Nessa thing twice now. Oh, this Nessa thing on Frogile, rather. And like, you can kind of tell that they've done this because, they banned the BK, and BK is not a ban you usually see on Frogile. I don't think it is. Why would you ban the BK though? Like, what? Does Ferocity really want it? Like, do you want it? Or obviously you don't because you banned it. But like, I don't know. I don't like that Zenith do this. I think that Ferocity, because Ferocity took an hour last time, if I remember correctly. Then Zenith got Ashe, Nessa, and then they won because of that. So I think taking the Ashe here was really good. Ferocity learning from their mistakes, and Zenith not thinking of what Ferocity could have done better, I guess. Because I think this was still winnable for Zenith, of course, but... And they could have played it better, but like I think the draft favored Ferocity, but it was still winnable for Zenith. I don't know. Eevee on Frog Isle against snipers is like good. She's like the only flank that's really valued here, isn't she? You could take like Talus or something. Talus is yeah. Just take Andra on Frog Isle. Kappa. Anyhow. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe get something out of this. It's interesting to see how Ferocity adapted in this Frog Isle game from the last time they did it, because they lost this map, if I remember correctly. So, anyhow, I'll see you guys next time.